Hello. Ciao, darlings. Eugene here, back again. Hope you're all well. This time back with another fragrance review. We've got Music for a While by Frederic Malle. Lavender in style again. You can kind of see from mainstream designers, but a traditional note like lavender paired with patchouli in a fougere format never really does get outdated, and it's always kind of timeless, you know, like looking at Jiki and Caron pour un homme. So Carlos Benaim and Frederic Malle wanting to recreate a classic structure. So this is definitely a lavender and patchouli based perfume. I'm not really sure it fits the whole fougere thing for me. It does got a very high quality herbal, dry lavender, earthy, soily, incensey, patchouli, not unlike Monsieur, but not as prominent, not nearly as concentrated as patchouli in Monsieur. But it's definitely high quality, it's grown up, and it's sophisticated. Where the plot kind of twists in Music for a While is definitely the opening notes, which are a little bit harsh. So they've taken this classical structure, this fougere theme and idea, and they basically decide to shit all over it. It almost seems as though Frederic Malle and Carlos Benaim, the night before, they probably created this in two parts, the base separately from the opening notes. So the night before, they probably went to the carnival or a theme park and filled themselves with cotton candy, caramel, pineapple juice, you know, anything sweet that they could find, and they basically took turns shitting into the pot where this formula was being created. So yeah, they obviously squatted, and you know, all that caramel, that pineapple, fructose, sugary, orange juice was coming out of them, and somehow got into this formula. It's extremely sweet to me, overbearingly, where it's actually ruined the perfume, and I can barely even tolerate it. And so that sweetness does really last a long time, where by the time it kind of dissipates, it's not even worth wearing. The opening is, for me, it's extremely sweet, and it's a noticeable blend of pineapple, sugar kicks into the base, sugar and caramel, but there's definitely a huge dose of ethyl-maltol. Just extremely sweet, and it's not even a pineapple, like a fresh pineapple. Like, right off the top, I think Aventus when pineapple comes to mind, and Aventus really took care of that pineapple note. You know, it was grown up and sophisticated, and they made it kind of a smoky, almost a barbecued pineapple. In this, it's much more childish, very juvenile. It's syrupy sweet, almost like it's not even freshly cut pineapple. I don't mind, you know, a couple of slices of pineapple, but after one or two, it starts to get too sweet for me. And those, you know, I can just feel the sugar in my mouth. And opposed to freshly cut pineapple, this to me is more pineapple concentrated fructose, maybe even a little bit of orangey juice mixed together with loads and loads and loads of sugar. So the whole composition is basically drowning out in this pineapple, caramel, cotton candy, ethyl-maltol. It's almost like you ever see a fly stuck in honey or in soda or something sweet. Well, consider the lavender and patchouli the fly, and the pineapple juice, the honey. So it's this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous blend of a classical patchouli and lavender. I get a little bit of incense. I don't really pick up on the whole vanilla. Vanilla is kind of irrelevant, and the whole oriental theme that Frederic Malle talks about. And so yeah, you take those classical notes, that classical structure, and just drown it out in this sweet, sugary, syrupy, fructosey, concentrated pineapple, and it absolutely destroys the blend for me. The whole while, it's a very high-pitched, screaming, whiny little bitch that does not ever shut up and or ever tame down. It's extremely strong. It's pretty much beast mode. Not really what I'm into. I'd much prefer if it was a lot more subtle. And I'd also, you know, I can do with, I don't mind a little bit of ethyl-maltol, like they've got in Guerlain has done ethyl-maltol and lavender in Mon Guerlain, and it's a beautiful perfume for me. I can tolerate it. I can wear it. The ethyl-maltol doesn't bother me. There's also a little bit of caramel. I can handle and tolerate this sweetness. Coco Mademoiselle has got patchouli and ethyl-maltol. Again, it's sweet, but I can handle it. It's all dosed at almost like perfect concentrations or levels. Here, not so much. It's just a screaming horror show of sugary sweetness where it's almost intolerable. All the while, you know, it's the sugar pulls out some resins on me, so it's just very high pitched. There's also some anise in here. Anise is a traditional note used in barbershop fougères, like in Rive Gauche, and that definitely doesn't help tame down the sweetness. If anything, it just turns the pitch up extremely more. To me, this is almost a form of perfume abuse. It's just like, I don't know, Frederic Malle has the powers to create whatever he wants, and this is what he presented, and I'm not really sure who this is marketed towards. Is this, you know, it's definitely not marketed to the mainstream, because you still got that lavender and patchouli, which isn't very, it's not a very easy blend for the mass appeal. But at the same time, you know, the sugary sweetness kind of ruins it. So I don't really see this marketed towards either group. I can't see this being sold mass appealing, and I definitely can't see this for the enthusiast or the connoisseur who is looking for something a little bit different. And this is very different from a lot of fougères that I've smelt. And I almost put this to be just as sweet and equally horrifying as Lancome's Lavande Trianon, which is brutal, sugary, sickly sweet synthetic blend of vanilla and lavender. I'd have a tough time deciding which is worse. Let me just spray a little bit on really quickly here. Yeah, that sweetness is, it's very dry. It's almost got a leathery texture to it. Spices I don't really pick up a whole lot of, but the lavender, you know, the lavender and the patchouli is a gorgeous blend. It's just really, 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 really dry. It's almost like a bleachy lavender. That could just be from the high pitch of the sweetness. It's got this bleach, there's just this bleachiness about it. Patchouli doesn't really come out towards, you know, a little bit later on, but it just takes, you know, this sweetness, it doesn't hum. It just kind of blares for hours and hours and hours without really ever going away. To me, it's just, you know, unfortunately, it's really unbearable because, I I love lavender. I love patchouli in you know, most instances, but this is just, you know, this should not exist. This should never have existed. This perfume does not exist, and it should never have gotten outside of a lab sample. How they decided to, you know, release this in publicly it's kind of embarrassing, I think, or it's kind of a shame that Frederic Malle has headed this direction. Anyway, needless to say, is this Eugenius approved? Absolutely fucking not. I'd say test it for yourself before you go ahead and splurge for a bottle. But you know, I am the biggest Frederic Malle fan, and I hardly ever got anything bad to say about this brand. But this and me, we just, you know, we don't work. I just can't even get with this. As much as, you know, I really like that lavender patchouli thing going on, we can't cohabitate at all. Anyway, guys, really nice talking to you. Good seeing you. Let me know if you've smelled music for a while. Let me know what you think. You know, somebody might love it. I'm not really into that ethyl-maltol sweetness. I just can't. It's too much for me. But you know, somebody else might. And if you do, great. You know, it works for you. That's awesome. Let us know in the comments below. Other than that, we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.